Recording. So welcome. This is Erin Hopkins. You guys, this is a hot seat call. So I absolutely want you to ask questions. And then I am going to kick it off, if that's okay. Of course, you're going to tell us a little bit about yourself. Actually, you know what? Do that first. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, guys. I'm so excited to be on here. Okay, so a little bit about me. Oh my gosh, my notifications go crazy. Sorry. A little bit about me. I came into this, I'm a fitness professional. So my background is in training and I was a yoga teacher and a spin teacher, and I just loved it. I had found this passion after a lifelong body image and disordered eating past. Found my passion with health and fitness, lost 50 pounds, I have to share, that kind of thing. So I was training in the gym and it was awesome. It was super fun, but it was obviously not lucrative. And then I got pregnant with twins and ended up having 3 kids in 2.5 years. So I have 3 at the time I had 3 under 3. Now they're 5 and 3. And I struggled really, really, really hardcore with postpartum anxiety and depression. But I also was really good at making it look like I had it all together and showing everybody that I was okay. And I was silently struggling. I couldn't even go to the gym because I was worried about germs and my kids' nap schedules. And I was a really psychotic new mother. And so I secretly bought T25 off Amazon because I would never have bought it from the sorority sister of mine that was actually working as a Beachbody coach. And I was like, this is the only way I get to work out. This is my new life and this is all I get. And so I did T25. But I was a Beachbody hater. I was a trainer and I was like, they don't need Autumn Calabrese. They need me, which is hilarious. I didn't really know about Portion Fix. I didn't know about the accountability tools. And now I'm obviously kicking myself because I know what I could have done to people's lives if I had had these tools while I was training them in the gym. Anyway, I'm struggling hardcore postpartum anxiety and depression. I'm falling into old disordered eating patterns with binge eating and too much wine and I'm just a mess. My marriage is falling apart. These little girls weren't not getting the mother that they deserved. And I was just, your whole life just falls apart. And so I was watching this acquaintance from the gym, and it's Moira Casaba is my upline coach. She used to own the Pilates studio where I worked. And I'm like, what is she doing? She's in the best shape of her life. What's happening over there? She's present with her family and at all of her kids' events, but she's helping people. I thought she closed her Pilates studio. What is she doing? And then I found out it was Beachbody, and I'm like, oh God, no, I would never do that. And so we chatted about coaching, and I'm like, I am such a mess. You want nothing to do with me right now. And she's like, just join my challenge group. Do it for you. Don't do it to coach. And so I did. I lost 20 pounds with 21 Day Fix Extreme, and literally my life changed forever. My husband's like, hey, you're kind of okay. You are kind of okay today. And that, we started connecting, working out together again. I swear to you, this has saved my marriage. My kids get the mom they deserve, all of that. And now I've built this business, and it's funny because I was the worst coach ever. I'm like, okay, I'll do this coaching thing, but just so you know, I'm not going to post on social media. I don't want to build a team, but I am passionate about filling challenge groups with women who are silently struggling. This is the answer. I have the solution. I want to share it, but I'm not cool with the sweaty selfie stuff. And she's like, oh, I'm sure she was like, oh my gosh, but she met me where I was. And I've had to do a lot of getting over myself. I actually spoke at Summit last year about getting over yourself and how I had to go from being just deeply sensitive. And I just care so much about what other people think about me. And it's something that I'm still working on, but obviously, you guys know, the more people we help and the more lives we change, the less we care what other people think about us. Because obviously, what we're doing is bigger than us. It's helping so many people. And so my business has really been built up until recently. In my warm market, I am the challenge group master, and I recruit coaches from my challenge group, which has been really fun in a lot of ways, right? Because these people have this amazing experience in the challenge group, and then I breathe belief into them and convince them that they want to coach. And I think what I'm going to talk about a little bit today is how I'm not doing that anymore. And that it is really, really awesome that I was able to build this business and go elite twice with my warm market. But I just burned out. Like I burned out of dragging people along and convincing people to want to do this with me. And it started to steal the joy because we're all here because we love this. Like we're not, this isn't like, this is amazing, but you have to like have that passion and have that joy. And when you lose it, like that's everything to me. So my business has shifted like incredibly in the last 6 months, really after leadership in Vegas. I guess that was like October or November. I came back to my team and we made a ton of changes. And so now I'm still doing the warm market thing in terms of filling my challenge group, loving on them, giving them the best experience and trying to make them like want that for life. But I'm doing less dragging, less convincing people that they want to do this and working with the people who are working and who actually want to do this. So that's been a really, really fun shift this year. And it has like, just given me kind of like a Beachbody coach rebirth to find that joy again and to have this be exciting and not like, picking people up and dragging them along the way. Because I said, like, Erin Hopkins does not drag people in 2019. And so it's been really fun.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I love it so much. So you have so much to share with us. So kind of take us through like, get over yourself. You said, get over yourself part 2.
Yeah.
And I really want to know about that because I feel like so many of us at this level, 3 through 5, flirting with that premier elite, like we really do, like that's pretty much the missing link that we need is just getting over ourselves, like holding ourselves back. So kind of tell us what that looked like for you.
Well, in the beginning, as I said, it was like getting over yourself. Part 1 is about like not caring what other people think and seeing the bigger picture of the lives you can change and all of that. And so obviously this is a process. I had to like pep talk myself about getting over myself every single day. But part 2 of that for me was like, what are these coaches who are having success doing that I'm simply not willing to do? And it was about the coach opportunity. Last year there were all these brand new like baby coaches to ballers, right? Like there were all these like 1 to 15 star and you're like, what in the world is happening? And so I started kind of studying those people and trying to see like, what's the missing link here? What are they doing that I'm not doing? And it all lied in the coach opportunity. None of those people, I mean, I'm sure they're, running amazing challenge groups and recruiting from their challenge group. I'm sure that that's part of their process, but they're recruiting people who want to work the business. And honestly, I have never done that before up until recently. And so I had this like really hard time with like saying things like fitness influencer and saying things like help wanted. Because to me, I had this like just mental block. It like felt gross and icky and like the kind of like the thing that I said I was never going to do. And so what I'm learning over and over again is those things that I said I was never going to do, like I was never going to be a Beachbody coach, like I just have to be okay doing them because I see the bigger picture, which is lives changed. And so I started talking about the coach opportunity. I started talking about how I'm looking for my people. I started talking about my financial situation and how that's a whole nother story, but my husband was building a job through this. I've been supporting my family of 5 as a Beachbody coach. Like it's pretty incredible. I mean, now our situation is different, but there was a year there that no paychecks were coming in except for mine. And so I'm starting to talk about that stuff, which is really, really out of my scope and really, really uncomfortable for me. And the more uncomfortable I get, the more, it's just like in the beginning when you don't want to post your before and after picture, like, yeah, that feels icky and uncomfortable. And how many lives have we all changed from that model? And then this is like the part 2, the coach opportunity. Like, yeah, it's disgusting that I'm like blowing up social media talking about my 6-figure income. I was raised that you don't talk about money, but me talking about money and talking about this coach opportunity and saying help wanted has brought in this new crop of coaches that are excited and want to run. And the conversations are so different from me being like, you can do, I mean, I'm still, of course, you can do this. I can believe in you. I believe in you. But before it's like, this is why you have time. This is why you want this. This is, I'm so tired of hearing myself convince people to do this. And this new crop of coaches knew what they were getting themselves into because they're signing up for the coach opportunity. I didn't sign them up as challengers and then like play the old switcheroo game on them. And again, I am still recruiting from my challenge group always. If I have a shining star in there who's amazing, who I think would be an amazing coach, of course I'm talking to them about that. I am running Instagram ads. That's working for me right now. I am like not the expert. I literally am like throwing spaghetti against the wall and seeing what works and what sticks, but whatever I'm doing right now is working. I wasn't running because my upline coach is Moira and she's like amazing. She's also like my bestie. So it was been really fun because she runs Coach Sneak Peeks and she'll be like, Erin, will you run this Coach Sneak Peek with me? And I'm like, yes, amazing. I get to run it with Moira. I know that she's going to fill it because she's a boss. So she's going to fill the Coach Sneak Peek. And if I have one or two in there, that's cool. Like they'll get the experience. They'll get to see the magical Moira. I'll get to share my story. And it's fine if there's just one or two in there. Well, she stopped running Coach Sneak Peeks with me. And it hurt my feelings. And you know what I had to do all of a sudden? I had to be a boss. I had to fill my own Coach Sneak Peeks because I wasn't just like resting on the fact that she would bring the people and I would just share my story and I could like later tag anybody who was interested. Like all of a sudden I had this huge pressure, just like we do to fill a challenge group. Like I run my own challenge group. If I don't sign up 20 people, or if there's not 20 active people in there, it's not fun, right? Like who wants to get SC6 and have 3 people in a challenge group every month? That's not fun. So that has always fueled me in the challenge group, is filling the challenge group. And then all of a sudden I got kicked out of doing the sneak peek with my bestie. And I had this pressure to fill it. And so I'm like, okay, this is your moment. You have to do the things that you have to look at these successful coaches and figure out what they're doing. And this is the difference. They're willing to do this thing and you're not. So I started doing the help wanted thing. I started talking about being a fitness influencer. Oh, it's still hard to say. And I started running ads. I started running my own Coach Sneak Peeks. And so then another level of this. Okay, I ran my first really successful Coach Sneak Peek. I maybe onboarded like 4 people, something like that, which was really exciting. 4 people in a week. Like I usually like just dragging challengers. I've always been a really slow recruiter, but I pour into these challenge group people and they become diamond. All right. So all of a sudden I'm like 4 cold market coaches in 1 week. This has never happened before. And then I'm like, okay, well, what are all these other top producers doing? They're not running 1 Coach Sneak Peek a month. I can tell you that. And so all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it every week. And I'm going to see what happens. They're doing it weekly. So I'm actually doing it 3 times a month because that makes sense with the Success Starter model a little bit more for me. I don't like to sign people up in that 3rd week because then it's really hard for them to get into the Success Starter thing. And now all of a sudden that's really fun when you get a Success Starter. So I started running, with my success partner, who's Hannah Roberts. She's also an elite coach. She's also sponsored by Moira. So she and our organizations don't affect each other at all. We just attract similar people and have a lot of fun and, all of that. So I found somebody that I wanted to run them with. We run them together and we've been doing like, again, 3 a month. I think we did do 4 in January, but I'm recruiting now cold market people who want in. And of course they don't all stick. It's all a numbers game. But when I used to recruit 2 coaches a month out of my challenge group and beg them that they want to do this, now I have this crew of really excited people and they like give me life.
Absolutely incredible. I don't know about you guys, but like I already have a page of notes. So this is absolute gold. So I'm going to open it up now for you to ask questions. You can either chat them or you can take yourself off mute and ask Erin. This is why she's here. You guys, obviously, you know that she has been around the block. She's built her business. Amazing, amazing takeaways. So it looks like Lauren asked, do you run the coach sneak peeks on Facebook? And then after that, you guys can take yourself off mute and ask questions.
Yeah, I do. The Holly Hillier method is what I call it. And it's in the Beachbody Champions page. I think I've watched that video like 18 times. But she was a big source of inspiration on this for me. I mean, I think she runs them weekly. Obviously, what she's doing is working. And so I literally just do exactly what she said. Like we tell our stories on day, it's 3 days. We do it Tuesday through Thursday. And then the idea is that we sign them up Friday. And then another different thing that we're doing is, oh, okay. Well, while I'm talking that, Brittany asked another question. So yes, we share our stories on the first day, me and Hannah, and then we use that "What do coaches do" video, which I think Brooke Lipoff did, but she shares it. Because it's just like the best video to talk about what coaches do. Like why recreate something that is awesome. So we go live as much as we can, but that one video is obviously not live. The next day we have objections video. We actually teamed up with some of our other besties and like did a Zoom call like this and recorded it. And we each talk about the objection that we had coming into this. Like, I'm not fit enough. I don't want to be salesy. I don't, all those things. So we address the objections in a video. I talk about the money, like how we earn, what it costs, all of that. And then Thursday is just like what's next. We do a giveaway on that second day. That's like ask your questions here, and we give away a shaker cup and some Energize Mom Crack. I don't even remember what it's called anymore. And that's it. And it's been really, really effective. I also have a landing page for people because I'm running into a lot of people who don't have Facebook. So I have a landing page that I did in MailChimp. Which actually my assistant did it, but she said it's really easy and it's free. So if you don't have, I just literally put all that content. And if you don't have Instagram, I shoot you that.
Do you leave the, like, I know a lot of people, like, do you leave everybody in there as you do them weekly and you just keep recreating that in the same group?
Yes. I actually remove the people who signed up because every week I don't want to be like, this is going to be the best crew ever, but I do leave them in because, and it is like, the fourth time they hear the money talk, they're ready to like get serious about it. So yes. So, and that also gives me a little level of comfort as well. Like if I didn't get, like, if I only got 8 new people in there, the group has 300 people in it. So it makes me look legit, even if it's not really that legit,
No, I get it. I love that.
Yeah. And another thing that we're doing that's working is, unless someone hasn't, I'm not letting y'all ask questions, am I?
Oh, I have a question. So I started doing this at the end of December also. The same kind of stuff, like running ads, and I'm like just throwing noodles at the wall, trying to figure out, they are working. But what I'm noticing is I'm getting like a ton of initial interest. And then the amount of people that I get on, like, I get their email and I get their interest, and then it like drastically drops to get them actually into the group. And then once they're in the group, then it's like even more drastically reduced to like the people I'm actually talking to. So I guess the first month I like freaked out, but then I'm like, okay, that's just the numbers. Like, I guess that's the same as like when you're recruiting to customers. It's like, 10, 20% say yes. So
I would say that, like, let's say I get 40 applications, 15 will go in the group. I'll sign 2.
Okay.
And that, like, and then I do it again the next week and again the next week and again the next week. And I want to recruit at least 10 coaches who want to work every month. So my like perfect scenario would be like 10 and 10, like SC40, 10 customers, 10 coaches. I can manage all of those people. I feel good about the experience that they will get with me as their coach. And because I used to hit higher SC numbers and it's just like people fall off. It's just hard. But then, yeah. So, and actually I was talking to Moira about that because her numbers are like double mine because she's ridiculous. And she said the same thing. Like, it is just simple. It's a simple math equation. Like, you get 100 applications, you end up with 6, you know, you double it, it doubles. So it's totally not you. It's just, that's the same experience I'm having. And then because I have only been doing it like this for 3 or 4 months, I guess this is my 3rd month actually. So 2.5 months. I am seeing that the people who applied in January and who have stayed in that sneak peek group for all of those weeks, I'm like able to re-engage with them. And I am sending out messages to the people who applied but never got into the group and being like, hey, remember me at one point? You know, I am following up with those people.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm noticing too. One thing that I was actually on a totally random different call, and maybe this can help everybody too. But one thing that I haven't been doing that was kind of like, duh, is all those people that have shown interest, start engaging in relationship building with them too. So like someone that I know, she puts all those prospects on Instagram in a collection so that either they or their assistant can like now engage with those people and keep the relationship going, which I haven't been doing. I'm like, I obviously need to do that. Most of my people are from Facebook ads, so I'm not really sure how I'm gonna do that because it's like the like page and you can't always see their profiles. But
yeah,
Leia, I think you can. Sorry. No, Leia, I think you can go on Instagram and make lists. I watched a training with Ruth Schroner one time, and she talked about how like her new friends, you can go to and make them in a list. So that might help you.
So I don't really form anymore. Like, I used to spend all this time forming people and then like asking them to join my challenge group or asking them to join my coach sneak peek. And now I form after they show interest. So I feel like I'm like forming the people who are actually qualified, like prospects. You know what I mean? Instead of like wasting so much time building relationships. Not that I don't like building relationships, but building relationships with people who really aren't interested in this. I do. So yeah, when their application comes in, they are on my hot list immediately. I am all over it. And I think that like, that is the other thing with my sneak peeks. The first month, we did it in December and it wasn't that successful. And then in January, I was like becoming besties with everybody in there. And that, of course, has changed it. But I also just like flag on Instagram. Anybody who's flagged is a hot list person. And actually, I have an assistant and she goes and loves on them all day long.
Okay, this is probably a really stupid question, but I don't know what flagged means.
And in Instagram message, you can like flag. So it's like in a different
gotcha.
category.
Gotcha.
Like a favorite or something, but it's a little flag.
I see. Gotcha. Okay. There is a question about onboarding. What does your onboarding system look like?
Okay, this is the magic. I also think I was going to talk about this and then I stopped myself because I want y'all to ask questions. Because this is also a huge shift, because what was happening before in November and December is I was like entering cold market and people were I had literally never had a return ever. And they were buying a challenge pack and returning it. And I was having my feelings hurt so bad. I'm like, I have never had a return before. Like, what is actually happening? And we just like weren't connecting. They were like disappearing and never speaking to me again. And they can, because they're cold market people. It's not like my normal situation. And so, actually it was Kim Fitzpatrick who spoke on a team call, and like, I was like, yes. So I said, phase 1 is your journey. And so now when we onboard coaches, and like, if you think about the Success Starter system, like it's built for this. Like month 1 is about being a product of the product. And it's about falling in love with this. Because if you look at all the successful coaches, they have all had some kind of transformation. And that doesn't mean like 6-pack abs. Like every single coach who is truly successful has had, no one just came in this for the money. Like, this program changed their life. So we've got to find a way to get these new coaches, especially cold market, feeling the community and getting results. And so we put them all, I've paired up with some other coaches on my team and my Success Partners team. And we have so the sneak peek ends on Thursday. Friday, the idea is we sign people up. And Sunday, we have our first training call. And that would normally be my GSR call. And this is what I shifted. That is now a challenge group call. That is like, this is Bud. This is my challenge tracker app. This is where you find the workout calendar. Like, we're not talking about Success Club, Emerald, Success Starters. They're not going to hear any of that until they're done with their first 21 days. And then we put them in they're of course in our challenge groups, and like and we set the expectation there. Like, you need to be A+ best challenger that exists, you know, like this is your job. Like, your job is your journey, period. That's all you're focused on right now. We do talk about, like, if you want to have some friends and family, like, look around to your like inner circle, invite them to do this with you, because A, it's more fun to do it with your inner circle. And B, you could just, when we have our business launch party in month 2, you are going to have a list of like a book of transformations from your besties. So we do talk about like helping people there, but we don't talk about anything businessy. And so it's been really fun because, like, for instance, obviously this is a new month. So on Sunday night, we had a business launch party and that's like the real GSR. That's when we learn about, you know, what do we learn about? You know, Success Club and leads and trips and, you know, all of that stuff. But I felt like before, when I'm like, oh, you're a new coach, here are the containers, learn the program, blah, 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 which now, thank God for Ultimate Portion Fix, it takes like half of our job away. And by the way, here's all this other stuff. And it's like, overwhelm, I'm out. And so this is like, no overwhelm, just focus on you. We work for a company that tells us to focus on us first. We're lucky little ducks, you know, like, so pound that in. And then in month 2, it's like, now we can like do this thing now that you understand how this works and you're in love.
Brittany, go ahead and take yourself off mute and ask your question, love.
I was like, I probably missed the answer to my question. I was putting the baby down. So I'm in this season of like needing to work 20 hours a day, but also wanting to love on my family. So I heard you say one thing your assistant does, but can you speak to like a little bit more of the things that you are comfortable delegating? Because I'm always like, no, I need to know my people. I need to be the one loving on my people. So if you could just.
I'll be like, I'll be really busy and I'll have her invite for me, and then I'll have a panic attack about it. And I'm like, I have to invite, you can't do this for me. Like, I'm with you. I wish that I was a better delegator. So she does everything for me as far as graphics. And she'll go through my flagged people and like just go like and comment. But I'm still like my hot list is in my face every single day. So I'm still looking at my hot list. I'm still like getting to know these people and having real conversations with them. What else does she do for me? She does more like my team stuff. So I don't have to like do any of that. I don't have her do enough because I am not good at like what you said, but I am also aren't we all kind of in the season where you want to like kick ass and be a top coach, and you also want to like be a present mom? And so what I do is I only work 3 nights a week. Like, and by that, of course, I'm like usually on the couch sending messages, like laying in my husband's lap. But those 3 nights I have like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, like he knows I'm working. I'm on my computer on calls Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, period. And I put my phone down from 4 to 8. And I know that's still not much. I have got little kids and I'm a stay-at-home mom. I mean, they're at school right now. I have to pick her up at 1, but it works, you know. And the other thing I've been doing is like hiring a babysitter in the afternoon, because there's nothing worse than parenting like this. And if that just makes me feel like a bad mom. And so I'd rather hire a babysitter and focus and really get like an hour or 2 of productivity. And then when I go home to my kids, my phone is down. And I mean, you know, obviously I'm working on this. This is not like, I'm not an expert at this, but this is the idea. This is what I'm trying to do, because I think, you know, a lot of people like us are made for, you work harder, you get paid more. Like, I'm really good at that model. I'm a really hard worker. And so it's hard to find that balance. But we're doing this for freedom. And so I think you just have to set really strict boundaries with yourself.
Freaking love that. That's amazing. And I say this all the time, like in this business, time doesn't necessarily equal money. It's work. Work equals money. So you just totally made me right. So I love it. Okay, who else has questions? You guys take yourself off mute or chat them. Actually, take yourself off mute. Use Erin. She's here. Anything else that's kind of knocking around in your head, Erin, that you're like, oh my gosh, this is something I need to share?
I could talk about the onboarding process more.
Oh, perfect. Yes.
Because so we put these people in a thread. So, we have this challenger GSR, your journey is your job, blah, blah, blah. And then we put them on a thread and in the challenge group. And so this magical thing is happening in the thread. And I will say that like the success of the team that I'm on, like my own team, as well as my upline team and the 6 elite coaches that are a part of it, so much of the success that we have is in the community that has been built. Like, we are best friends. We love each other. Like, we are so intertwined and connected in each other's lives. And so I feel like the people that I'm attracting also want that. And so instantly they feel a part of this crew. Obviously we have the challenge group and we're building community there, but like they are in this new coach badass crew in a thread, and they are starting to comment on each other's posts, and they're like, oh my gosh, I want to do this coming out post, and this is what it looks like. What do you guys think? And so they're masterminding there, and they're, oh my gosh, I just posted something scary. Will you guys go like and comment? And then they're liking and commenting and helping each other's algorithms, and they're supporting each other. And day one in their journey, they're feeling the community. And I feel like if you can get people there, they're going to stick around. Like, I couldn't quit if I wanted to. If I literally couldn't, my life would be over. These people that I do this with are my whole life right now. And I mean, not that we want to like trap people. That just sounded like creepy, but it's true. Like, create an environment where no one can leave. And I want to do that in my challenge group. And I want my coaches to feel the way that I feel. Like, there are so many days I want to quit, and I know that's not realistic because my life would be over.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much. And Danny, just wanted to double check, if your new coaches are ready to start working right away, do you still have them be challengers the first month before they start inviting? So you kind of went over that before. I know she hopped on a little bit late. So if you could kind of go over that just a little bit.
We just talk about inviting your inner circle. Like, of course, all you really have to do in this business to be successful is get excited, right? So if they're excited about their journey, people around them are going to see that excitement and want to do it with them. So yes, this happens all the time. Like, 2 of my brand new coaches from February who were not supposed to be inviting yet hit Success Club in month 1 because they just had, like, her mom wanted to do it, her bestie wanted to do it, her coworker wanted to do it. I'm like, all right, let's get them signed up. And I really helped them with that sign up process. Like, let's get on a call while you're on Share a Cart, because I didn't want them, in month 2, you need to figure this out. But in month 1, like, let's make this really easy. And so, yes, those people, and there are people that I'm side texting that are ready for more. That one of those girls who hit Success Club, I announced her in the team page, which we're not doing until month 2. And I let her go on our team calls because she was ready. And so if you really have that, but the expectation needs to be like, you're not in the team page, you're not on the calls, you're not getting confused and overwhelmed until we launch your business in month 2.
Absolutely love that.
Team isn't recruiting in their warm market. How do you get them to follow you? I agree. My team is starting, the leaders are success leaves clues, and they're watching what we're doing and they're hopping on board. I am also kind of, and you guys are too, as what are you, 3 to 5 star diamonds? We are in a very sweet spot in our businesses, I feel like, where we have teams, but they're not so big that we can't really dig into our downline. Like, if you've got a 15-star team and 5 elite coaches, like Moira has that. Like, this organization is humongous, and she does such an amazing job on like really like making people getting to know her coaches and her downline. Like, she knows my coaches, but I can do that better because I have less people, And so I am letting my whole team knows this model. And so they are allowed to have coaches in these threads. So essentially I'm helping them get their coaches started right. where that might be something scary to them, or even explaining like why Success Club is important and what the lead system is like that might be hard for them. I am able to do that with them. And I know that's probably too much hand holding, but the idea is duplication. And I want to duplicate. I want a team of Star Diamonds, and I want them to see what I'm doing so that as their team grows, they can do the same thing for their downline. So instead of like, I say that like, hey, okay, you can hop on mine right now. And then as soon as you have 2 diamonds, you're out. Like that's when you do that with your diamond and their downline. So yeah, I think it's just leading from the front. And like, last month when people saw me introduce 10 coaches in the team page that were ready to launch their business, they were like, okay, I'll do what you're doing. So if you do it enough, they will follow suit, but I get it. It's hard. And even I'm running Instagram ads. Let's talk about that. And I can't like guarantee that they're going to get anything from an Instagram ad. So it's like, I don't want to tell them to spend $100 and then not get the results that I got. And I'm not good enough at knowing why what I'm doing is working to like really explain. So I'm working on duplication there. But yeah, I wish I had a better answer for you, except for just like leading from the front and sharing everything that you do and trying to get them to duplicate.
Awesome. Guys, we have like 5 more minutes with Erin here. If you guys have any questions, this is gold, you guys. I don't know about you, but like my hand is hurting. This is amazing. I love it. Anything? Okay. One of my questions is, and maybe you've touched on this, but I get all the time, and maybe I'm just wanting you to like do my job for me, but whenever I have coaches that want to hit elite and they're having a hard time getting their new PS coaches to Success Club, how do you tackle that one?
Well, also these little pods are creating a great deal of FOMO, because even so in month 1, when they're not supposed to be learning about Success Club, we say, oh my gosh, Amanda helped her first person. Oh my gosh, Amanda, we're not talking about it yet because we're not going to overwhelm you, but if you hit 3 people, big, huge things happen. If you help 3 people. So we're getting that in their head, because I would love for people just to hit it in month 1 and not have to do the 2, 3, 4 thing. But when people are like, oh, Amanda helped somebody, I want to help somebody. Like Amanda's getting celebrated. We send, why don't I just plug it? We send the Rise Up Journal for coaches who hit Success Club. Moira wrote this book. It's like gold. And I get it cheaper than you can, but so I get it if it would be too expensive for a month 1 Success Club gift, but they get this month 1. This is literally the key to your business. So if there is somebody who, unless they want to go buy this on Amazon for $30, like, or whatever it costs, I can give that to them. And then we have little team lightning bolt earrings that they get for helping their first person. So they help their first person and they get team earrings that I'm actually not wearing them today, but I normally am, that we're all wearing. And so yesterday I went and mailed my stuff, and I'm like, oh my gosh, guys, I just like look out in the mailbox, because those who help their first person or hit Success Club accidentally in month 1 got their like goodies. And so we're just, I have FOMO, so I am attracting people who also have FOMO. I like had another baby because I had FOMO so much. So I have like the most extreme version of FOMO.
I love it. I love it. I'm scared that I'm going to end up with another dog because of FOMO. So
right. My friends who did not have twins, they had 1 baby, were like going for round 2. And I'm like, I want to be pregnant with you guys. This would be so fun. And I'm like, what?
I love it. Okay, guys, one more question. Anybody? Okay. Any parting words for us, Erin? You're amazing.
Oh my gosh, I love you. Are you going to be on the cruise?
No, directors and up.
That's so rude.
But I'll be at leadership in Scottsdale.
Okay. My parting words is just like, obviously this is a roller coaster, right? This is such a roller coaster, but you've got to figure out the joyful thing. Because like any job in the world, there's going to be parts of it that you don't like, or part of it that's frustrating, or part of it, like we are so lucky that we like 96% of our jobs. And so I just feel so many coaches are letting that 4% make them want to quit and make them not keep going, when really if we just remember why we're doing this and remember what we loved about it. I mean, I literally need, like, that has been my journey in the last few months. It's just finding the joy again and loving this. I'm doing this because I love it. And yes, now I've created this income and it's so amazing, but you just have to keep your finger on the pulse of that. And also for your coaches, because I am super competitive and I love elite points. But I have to meet my coaches where they are, and I have to honor their joy as well as mine. And so that has been my biggest lesson.
That's so incredible. And I love that you love elite points. Like,
I really do. I really love them.
you know that meme where it's like that guy that's got like Coke on his nose, like, y'all got any more of them elite points? That's Erin right here. I love it.
It's like a sickness.
But really, really good. I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And I was talking to a coach earlier in the week, and she said something to me that like hit me like a ton of bricks. And you're kind of saying the same thing. Get over yourself, put yourself out there, figure out what your joy is, and share it with people. And she said, you don't have to hide from hard. And that goes hand in hand with what you're saying. Like, this is a roller coaster. It's hard to climb up those hills, and it's exhilarating when you like, shoo, you know, it's so, so exciting, but you don't have to hide from the hard. Like, embrace it, make it your friend, do those things that will move your business forward. Erin, thank you so much. And thank you to the coaches that are on here. I'm excited to see where everyone's business is going. And I'm excited to celebrate you, Erin, in your 3rd year, because I know you're going to go elite this year. Your team's going to be absolutely incredible. So